There is nothing wrong with your podcast streaming service. We now control your device. This is not a test. This is Podcast of the Paranormal. Close your curtains and stay away from your windows. Lock your doors, turn off your lights. Get your snacks and drinks ready. Get to your basement or attic. The podcast is about to begin. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Have you guys heard that rhyme?
I have, yep. First time, huh, Jeff?
Oh, it was the first time. I think I might have heard that before.
What if I said she only struck her stepmother 19 times and her father 11? So barely even 40 total.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Let alone each.
To the 80-some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting way to start the show.
Yeah.
I am Gabrielle.
And I'm Jody.
I'm Jeff.
And this is Podcast of the Paranormal. Today, we're going to be talking about Lizzie Borden. So this research for me was a labor of love. I love Lizzie. I love the story. It really interests me. So full disclosure, I am obsessed with New England.
How obsessed?
I always try to get Jody to move there.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, we're buying property every year in New England.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
It hasn't happened yet.
I'm going to get a house right next door.
Oh, yeah.
and then I learned one day that Maplecroft was for sale. That was where
Yeah.
Lizzie lived after she left the home that they were living in when the murders happened.
And this is how deep your research goes. I don't know anything about Maplecroft. Nope, not at all.
I tried to get
same.
him, to buy Maplecroft and turn it into a B&B, but he wouldn't.
For a small fee of...
I think it was like $500,000.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
Couple million today.
Yeah, I mean, just think about how much they're probably making at the house now.
Yeah.
So we dropped the ball on that.
Way to go.
I know.
I ruin all the fun.
Right now, there's a funeral home for sale down in Old Forge. And I'm like, let's buy that, turn it into an Airbnb. And he's like, no.
Oh, my God. That's
Yeah.
actually a good idea.
Right?
Put you on the spot right
Yeah,
now.
thanks, Jeff.
I think Jeff wants to go in with us.
Well, whatever. He can go with you then.
So I always joke. I say that I'm an armchair historian for the Salem witch trials. But now after this episode, I'm going to throw my hat in for Lizzie Borden for the murders too. I don't really do true crime. So this will probably be our first and only true crime episode for this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
I could find another story that's really interesting, like Lizzie.
Yeah, there could be another Lizzie out there.
Maybe like the Villisca axe murder house, maybe. Could be another.
That could be good.
Yeah, I like that. That's really interesting. So let's introduce our key players. We have Andrew Borden. That is Lizzie's dad, Lizzie and Emma's father. He's a wealthy, high society man. He is president of a major bank in Fall River. He's a property owner, director of 3 cloth mills. He is known for his style and his love of money. It's speculated that he was on his way to becoming a millionaire at the time that he passed. I believe he was worth about $300,000 at the time. In today's money, I think he was worth about 8 to 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I just think about that. They're saying he's like on his way to become a millionaire and he only has $300,000. And then if he makes it to $1 million in their money, like what does that equate to in today's money? That blows my mind.
I mean, I could do the math for you, but you gotta give me time. I can't do that in my head.
We
Yeah.
don't have time for that.
It's quick math, but I'm not doing it.
We'll be here all night.
Yeah, right? So Andrew is not a kind man. He is stingy with his money. It's also reported that just 4 months prior to the murders, that he actually murdered Lizzie's pigeons. Lizzie had pigeons in the barn that she kept. And they were pets to her, and she loved to care for her pigeons. And her father, it's reported, killed the pigeons in May, so just a few months before they passed.
I'm not going to say that sounds like a motive, but...
I know, right? It's really
sounds like a motive.
interesting. I think it's just interesting to note that it happened.
Yeah.
So some people say that Andrew Borden was a Quaker. It's said that his dad was a Quaker. His father's name was Abner. So there's reported that potentially Andrew could have been a Quaker when he was a young child. I just think that's interesting too. It really serves no purpose, but I just think it's an interesting fact. There is nothing substantial though about that. So next we'll move on to Abby. She is Lizzie and Emma's stepmother. She is the second wife for Andrew. They were married in 1865. They met in church. So Abby wants social status, and it is believed that Andrew married her to care for the daughters and care for the home. So it's kind of like symbiotic. Abby gets her social status, and Andrew gets somebody to care for the home and care for his daughters. For good measure, we'll talk about Sarah Borden. She is Lizzie and Emma's mom. She's Andrew's first wife. She passes in 1863.
And how old was Lizzie?
Lizzie was 2 and Emma was 12. She died of uterine congestion, which is also a vascular disease. It affects blood flow. She also had a spinal disease. Lizzie and Emma also had a sister named Alice. She passed away before she was 2. She had dropsy, also known as hydrocephalus. So we can move on to Emma. Emma is 42 at the time of the murders. She's the oldest of the 3 daughters. Not much is known about Emma. Not much is known about the education, the hobbies, her love life, really anything. There's not many photos. Some people say that she might have been the real murderer, but no evidence really supports that. At the time of the murders, Emma was visiting friends, and she was notified by telegram. But there is rumors that she snuck to the house, committed the murders, and then returned to the friends' houses. And that's where the suspicion comes from, that she could have actually committed the murders. But it's just a rumor. Nothing is substantial. She was the sole heir to the family's fortune when Lizzie was charged with the crime. And she actually funded Lizzie's defense. And at the time, it cost $25,000.
Back then, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it really is. So now we have Lizzie. At the time of the murders, she's 32. She's a high society debutante. She's a member of several clubs, active in her church. She holds leadership roles in many of the activities that she's involved in. She seems to be pretty desirable, but she remains single. She has a really unique situation. Her dad has money, but she did not. So Andrew has money, but Lizzie and Emma, they don't have money.
Wouldn't that make them like inheritance
Yeah.
siblings? I mean, but then again, Andrew was very tight with his money, correct?
Yeah, he was stingy.
So he wanted his daughters to work for their own fortune, basically, right?
Yeah, he did. So people who might have been sufficient to come and court Lizzie viewed her as being beneath them because she wasn't allowed to share in Andrew's wealth with him. But then on the other hand, the people that were coming to court Lizzie, they were deemed to be beneath her by Andrew. So she was really in a difficult situation. Mm-hmm. So Lizzie, she actually passes from pneumonia in 1927. The same day that she passes away, Emma falls and hurts herself. And then she passes not even like 2 weeks after Lizzie dies. So even though they're estranged at that time, they pass not very far from each other. Just to note, Lizzie was calling Abby, the stepmom, she was calling her mom up until 1887. So as we know, right, Lizzie was only 2 when her mom passed away. So she didn't really know her mom. She didn't really have any memories of her mom.
Right, so the stepmother was her mother.
Right,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So up until 1887, she's actually referring to her as mom. We also have Bridget Sullivan. She was also referred to as Maggie by Lizzie and Emma sometimes. The previous maid's name was Maggie. So we don't know, is this being done out of habit because they were so used to the name of their old maid, or are they being disrespectful to Bridget? Bridget emigrated from Ireland in 1883. She works for the Bordens. About 6 years later, she comes on in 1889. She's estimated to be in her 20s at the time of the murders, and some people believe that she could have also been Lizzie's accomplice in the murders. So that's one theory, that they committed it together. And she does testify throughout the trials. It was thought that she was being truthful in her testimony. However, it didn't really help or hurt Lizzie. Some say that Lizzie actually paid her off and she returned to Ireland, but she actually lived in Montana and continued to work as a domestic there. Just a little bit of interesting information that I found when I was doing research. Emma actually lived in South Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for a short time before she moved to work with the Bordens. So that's like a little bit of a local connection that I thought was just interesting.
That's kind of cool.
And the last person we have is John Morse. He is the brother of Sarah, Andrew's first wife. He's the uncle to Emma and Lizzie, and he's also Andrew's only friend. They were in business together at one point. They were in casket making. Then John moves west. He's in Iowa. Then he's in Illinois. He was a horse breeder at one point. And initially he was a suspect because he's a weirdo. I'm just going to say that for right now. He showed up 2 days before the murders, and then the day of the murders, he leaves. He remembered so many details about the day that it seemed like he was like being hyper vigilant for an alibi. Like he remembered the badge number of a police officer that he crossed that day.
Right. Which we all do when we run into police officers. We take note of that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing you know. Mm-hmm. Now, we'll walk through a timeline of events, just some things that have happened, and we'll focus on the day of the murders a little bit more in depth, too. In June of 1891, there is a daytime robbery in the Borden home. Emma, Lizzie, and Bridget are all at the house. The prime suspect is Lizzie. She had previously been accused of shoplifting as well. So from this point forward, the doors inside and outside of the home are locked. So they're locking those main doors that people can use to access in and out of the home. And they're also locking the interior doors to bedrooms, different things like that. They're locking because now they believe that Lizzie is a thief. April of 1892, Lizzie is heard in town saying that Abby is a mean old thing. So just kind of, shows that her and Abby are starting to not really get along. May or June of 1892, again, Andrew kills Lizzie's pigeons with a hatchet. They were her pets. She loved them. July 21st of 1892, Emma and Lizzie, they travel to New Bedford together following a family argument. They leave the home. August 2nd, 1892, Andrew and Abby begin to have stomach issues. Abby goes to the doctor. She suggests they might have been poisoned, but the doctor, he's not fully convinced. August 3rd, 1892, Lizzie is unsuccessful in trying to buy poison at Smith's drugstore.
That's a red flag.
She visits a friend house.
So is that what makes her the primary suspect then? Would it be the poison?
That among other things. She kept changing her story a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't really consistent in what she was telling people. So she's unsuccessful in trying to buy that poison. She visits a friend, claims she's fearful of being poisoned herself. Her dad has enemies, and she is seeing suspicious people lurking near the house. She's fearful that someone might do something. Also, this is the day that the uncle, John Morse, arrives to visit the family.
So is she trying to claim that she's buying poison because she believes she's going to be poisoned? Like, I just don't get the logic there. Like, you poison me, I'll poison you.
Hey,
right.
Eye for an eye.
I'll poison you before you poison me.
Or, yeah, exactly. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. 1892, August 4th, day of the murders, 7 a.m. John, Abby, and Andrew, they all have breakfast together. Abby then begins her household duties, and Bridget actually goes outside and throws up in the yard. Just, isn't really here or there, but it's just interesting, right? Why is she throwing up? Does she know she's going to murder them? Is she nervous? Yeah. Is she getting, is her nerves getting the best of herself?
Well, my question is, who provides that knowledge, that witnessing of her just going outside and vomiting in the yard? Had to be one of the family members, right?
Yeah, it could have been a neighbor. It could have been anyone, really. The police, maybe she told the police. Maybe they found the vomit and they were like, what is this? And she said, oh, I got sick after breakfast, after I served the family breakfast.
Yeah.
Was she being poisoned?
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. You're right. 9 a.m., Lizzie comes. She has breakfast. The uncle, Mr. Morse, he leaves about 8:45. And then a few minutes after he leaves, Mr. Borden leaves the house as well. It's 9:30. Abby's upstairs in the bedroom now. She's continuing her chores. Within the hour, she is struck in the head 19 times and killed in the bedroom. At this time, Bridget is outside. She's cleaning the windows. Mr. Morse arrives at a nearby home to visit his niece and his nephew, and then he goes to visit Daniel Emery.
So I learned something today. Lizzie claimed to be outside, kind of like while this was all going on, cleaning the windows.
Bridget.
Okay, well, still, that's good to know.
Yeah, she's not in the house.
Following along.
Joey doesn't listen.
I know, yeah. It's the details. The little details.
So also of note, the first time that Abby is struck, it was like, I think it was on the side of her face. Mm-hmm. So she pretty much is believed that she saw the person who attacked her. So Abby knows who it was.
Too bad she didn't live through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? She could tell us. 10:50 to 10:55, there is a man with an open buggy observed just outside their property.
Okay, so now we have this suspicious third party.
Right, who's trying to poison Lizzie.
Who's trying to poison Lizzie, yeah.
From afar. 11 a.m., Andrew returns home. He's let in by Bridget. Bridget hears an odd laugh coming from upstairs. if you're familiar with the house, when you walk in that front door, the steps are right there to the right. Mm-hmm. There's a set of steps. And then just to the left is like a hallway. You could kind of walk into a couple rooms. You go up the stairs, and just at the top of the stairs, right to the left, is the bedroom where Abby is.
Okay.
So she's right at the top of those stairs. So then Bridget says she hears the laugh coming from upstairs. So was it potentially coming from that room, from whoever had just killed Abby and now thinks they've gotten away with it because they haven't been caught yet?
Yeah. Was it a maniacal laugh?
It doesn't say. An odd laugh.
Could be a third party too, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. If they're saying it's an odd laugh.
Right.
Are they trying to say that they don't recognize that person's...
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's odd because they don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So Lizzie and her father, they briefly speak, and Lizzie actually takes the time to tell Andrew that Abby got a message and left the house. Andrew goes into the sitting room, and shortly thereafter, he himself is murdered. He is struck 11 times. Most of it is to his face, and there's like crime scene photos. You can Google them if you want.
Yeah, I've seen the photos.
It's pretty, it's pretty gruesome for him because it's like all like right to the front of his face. Bridget is upstairs in her room. She's about 2 floors up. Bridget stays on the 3rd floor in a back bedroom. Lizzie calls for Bridget, stating someone killed her father. I think she actually says someone killed father. She reports that she was in the barn looking for sinkers for a fishing trip. And then at about 11:15, they notify the police. 11:20, John Morse takes a streetcar to the home. He arrives about 11:35. He heads right to the backyard. Just goes right into the backyard. And it's said that he eats some of the pears from the tree in the yard. Huh. Because he's a weirdo.
This is really, after he knew that the murder had occurred? Because it's not so odd then. But if he knew that the murders occurred and just said, hey, I'm going to go to the backyard and get myself a snack.
Like, part of me says he knew. It's said from the Evening Standard, about 2 days after the murders, he, Mr. Morse, took a streetcar on which 6 priests were passengers, 3 of whom sat on the seat with him. He left the car at the corner of Pleasant and 2nd Streets and walked direct to Mr. Borden's residence. Edwin Porter, who wrote about the case, claimed that Morse told him that he learned of the murders via a phone call. William Medley, one of the first police officers to arrive, asked Morse about this, and Morse denied he said it or that it had happened. Emery did not have a phone, and they did not have phone booths in that era, so I don't think he received a call. If not at the Emerys, when and where did he get the call?
So what are you saying?
So I'm saying that he's claiming that he knew about the murders at the time. So he knows about the murders. He knows his former brother-in-law is murdered. Mm-hmm. And he comes to the house and he just eats a pear off their tree.
And he seems like he knew something before he should have.
Right.
That's what it seems.
The postmortems are done in the afternoon, the autopsies. They're performed right on the dining room table in the home.
Okay.
The police call Abby Lizzie's mother, and she corrects them. She says, it's not my mother, it's my stepmother. So 3:40, Emma gets on a train to return to Fall River, and she arrives about 5 o'clock. August 6th, the funeral is held in the home. August 7th, Emma sees Lizzie burning the blue dress in the kitchen fire, and she claims she got red paint on it.
Okay, so Emma saw red staining on the clothes?
Yes.
Okay.
So Lizzie has a blue dress, and she brings it into the kitchen, and she's going to burn it. She claims she got red paint on it. So Emma catches her with this dress, like trying to burn it in the kitchen, and they believe she's trying to hide the evidence. It's not paint, it's blood.
Yeah.
It's the dress she killed them in, and she's trying to hide the evidence.
Wow. So just like throw it in the hearth in the kitchen, or was it like an oven of sorts, or what?
I think it was their oven.
Wow.
August 11th, 1892, Lizzie's arrested for the murders. Again, because her stories, they're very inconsistent. They're not matching. They're changing. June 5th, 1893, the trial begins in New Bedford, Massachusetts for Lizzie. And June 20th, 1893, Lizzie is acquitted of the murders. Lizzie and Emma, they actually live together in Maplecroft. This house is in the more affluent neighborhood. They lead a rather isolated life together. Emma, she leaves Maplecroft for New Hampshire in 1905. They become estranged at this time, and Lizzie remains in Maplecroft until she passes. we could note that Lizzie mostly has some jealousy of some cousins that they have who live in like the Hill neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It's a more affluent neighborhood. And Lizzie is jealous that her family isn't able to live there. So
this family is obsessed with money.
Right.
Yeah.
That they're living in this modest house despite all this wealth their father has. They're forced to live in this, what they consider like inadequate home.
Oh, so they're actually embarrassed that they don't have their father's wealth.
Right. They're embarrassed he's not sharing it with them. That he's being stingy, keeping it to themselves. So why do you think people are so obsessed with Lizzie?
I'm looking at you, Jeff.
I know you're both looking at me. I'm like,
I mean, it's like been 160 some years, and it's still like people still talk about it.
Yeah.
People,
tons of TV shows. And
I mean, most times people think it's probably, the place is haunted, murders are taking place there. Some people are interested in stuff like that, which is kind of weird with murders, but
yeah.
It's the true crime people.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So Lizzie, she's native born and raised right there in Fall River. Everybody knows her. She's a neighbor. They're probably passing her on the street in different places they're shopping or when they're doing, their chores, they're seeing her. She came from a good family. They didn't have the framework to comprehend that a woman would be capable of any kind of crime, let alone a brutal murder like this, and a brutal murder of her own family. So this is kind of something that they can't even understand, people at this time. She hated where they lived. She hated how they lived so frugally. So was she trying to separate herself from this patriarchal authority that she's like under with her dad while he's living there? So could that potentially be a motive? Like if I could commit these murders, then I could get away from him. We could get this money and we could live, in a better house like our cousins do. So my theory is that Lizzie's innocent.
There's a lot of red flags there.
How about anybody else? What do you guys think?
There's a lot of inconsistencies. There is. Yeah.
I need to see more evidence.
I want to say it's either her or the uncle, right? Morse.
Yeah. John Morse is
right?
the uncle.
Because they're both weirdos. I mean, they're both weirdos. Their stories are inconsistent. Morse knows stuff he shouldn't know, right?
Yeah.
But I think maybe Emma knew something.
Yeah.
She kind of protected her sister.
What if all three of them were planning it?
I don't think the uncle was in on it with them, though. I really don't. What if, oh, you ready for this? What if the sisters, Lizzie and Emma, were planning on killing their parents at the same time that Morse was planning to kill the parents?
That would be crazy.
Kind of intersected and
yeah.
They're all freaking out like, oh,
that
we got to get the story straight.
Yeah, that could be like a weird comedy movie where they're all...
Shut the fuck up, Uncle John. Go out back and eat a fucking pear.
They all show up with like hatchets.
Oh my God.
To kill Abby at the same time. And they're like, well, then who's going to kill Andrew? And then they like fight over it.
Oh my God. And then how are we going to explain this? We got to get our story straight here.
Yeah.
Right, well, Lizzie was outside washing the windows.
That was Bridget again.
Bridget was outside. Damn it. Fucking details, man. Bridget's outside walking. Bridget Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. See? This is your thing. The Lizzie story is totally your thing. I really don't have much of an interest in it. I offer my support.
And we've talked about this, right? Like most of this is stuff that I had already known. So it's so weird to me that it's not like just common knowledge that people know about the Borden murders. It just blows my mind. Like, did you know any of this, Jeff? Is this like all new information?
I knew some of the story, but like this is...
the basics.
Yeah, basics. Yeah.
Like when we had gone to the house last year, I would say to people, oh, we're going to stay at the Lizzie Borden house on the way home from Salem. And they're like, what is that?
Yeah, who? But it's funny too, because the way Jeff looks at it, he looks at it through what he knows about it, right? Like what he's seen on TV, what he's read about it. Everybody paints her as an axe murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how I saw it too, until Gab tried to make a case for Lizzie.
Well, I don't think Lizzie did it.
Then who do you think?
I think the uncle did it. John Morse. I mean, you got the weirdo eating pears.
Yep.
He slept in the bedroom where Abby was murdered.
Yeah.
So this is why she was in that room that morning making the bed, because he had slept in it. When he showed up the day before without telling anybody, he just shows up.
Maybe he didn't appreciate the way she made the bed.
Yeah. He rarely even visited, but then he chooses the day before the murders to all of a sudden come and visit. It's just weird.
Everything kind of creepily lines up.
Yeah. So some speculate that John had actually discussed Andrew's will, or lack thereof, because Andrew didn't have one, that they had discussed it together. And then again, he shows up the day before the murders, which is really weird. Then he has like that really detailed alibi, right? Where he knows the cop's badge number. And
I wonder if there
it's
was
not the cop, it's the conductor. He remembers the conductor's badge number on his hat.
Right. Again, what the hell are you doing looking at that number for?
Right. And again, if he's telling people on his way back, that he had gotten the call and that's why he's coming back, but then they're saying there was no call at the places he was at. It's not like they had phone booths that he could just go to.
It's almost like he had a preconceived,
did he have a time slip where he went to the future and he got the call and then?
I mean, anything's possible.
It is possible.
Did he own a DeLorean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, I'm saying, what if he was looking for an alibi? Like if this was all premeditated and he was watching the conductors and he was watching the train routes, seeing what times they go in and all that, and then said, all right, I'm going to remember this guy's conductor number. So later on, when I do this, I could use as an alibi to say I was on that train.
Well, that's what they say about people who are guilty, is that when they talk about things like that, they remember very specific details that you wouldn't normally give if you were just telling like a normal story.
Right.
You might say like, I took the number 3 train and then I got off on this street, but you wouldn't say, and the conductor's hat was number 14.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Like you wouldn't give those extra details.
But you're already saying that he's a strange person, so maybe he's
Right.
maybe he's into just remembering everything.
Oh,
like a recorder.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
just record everything. He's
Yeah.
doing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The pears just get me.
He was hungry.
The pears get me every
You
time.
needed a snack. What kind of pears were they?
Pears from a tree.
I don't expect you to know that. I hope it was a nice Bosc pear. Is that what they're called? Bosc? B-O-S-C? I don't know. Is that what they're called? The brown ones.
They are, yeah, BOSC.
They are
I love
good.
those.
I'm hungry.
I joke that he was just like thinking about those pears all day and nothing was going to keep him from those pears.
I think we could do a whole episode about the pears.
Yeah, we probably could. So I want to talk about archetypes now because this story is just absolutely full of them.
Okay. What do you mean when you say an archetype?
Like an archetype is kind of something that we have preconceived within us that is like a framework for understanding something. I mean, it's kind of like, if you think about it, it's just like something that we use to describe things. Like it's like a concept.
A concept, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think of like mothers, fathers. Like that's like an archetype. Like you have.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like this
Yep.
is what a mother is, and
I
that's
get it.
like an archetype. And
Yep.
then this is what a father is, and that is an archetype.
Okay. I get it.
So I'm not saying that any of these are true. I'm just discussing the common archetypes that surround these murders that are kind of present here. They play on our broader societal anxieties and narratives surrounding gender, crime, family dynamics, and they even sexualize Lizzie by claiming that she might have been naked while she committed the murders. So that's just another theory as well. So Lizzie is painted often as a femme fatale, female criminal, feminist outlaw, like they're kind of all the same thing. This is a deviation from the Victorian norms. She's unmarried, she has no children, she has no domestic duties. So she's kind of like challenging that patriarchal authority. Essentially, she's like, even at this point where she's killing her father, she's eliminating that patriarchal authority. She can be the villain. She can be a tragic figure. She often reflects the cultural and societal anxieties of shifting gender roles at the time. But my problem with this archetype is that it's typically like a seductress, and we just don't really know that part of Lizzie in that way. Like they say she doesn't really have like many people courting her. She's not really like involved in relationships.
She doesn't seem interested. No.
Right. So I view her more as like the new woman version of that archetype, where she's like challenging the femininity. She's asserting her dominance, and she kind of is defying what society would expect of her by, not conforming to being married at this time, having children. She's kind of like, this is my path and I'm going to carve it. We also see her as a repressed woman, sexually or emotionally. Repression can lead to violence, which is what they believe. So we're kind of seeing that play itself out with then her committing the murders. It shows the dangers of repressing what is considered to be traditional feminine traits, while highlighting the importance of self-discovery and personal growth. We also see, very briefly, the wild man archetype. It's believed that a crazed, unknown stranger might have broken into the house and committed these crimes.
The strange car outside the house.
Right, the strange buggy. Strange car.
It's the same
1800.
thing. Buggy car, whatever.
We also see the wicked stepmother archetype play into this. When you're looking at like Freudian style family dynamics, you split the mother into evil.
Mm-hmm.
So the good mother is oftentimes she's deceased with this dynamic, which we have here, right? Lizzie's mother has been deceased. She doesn't really know her mother. She doesn't really have anything to go on. So she can really just kind of play her up as a good mother because she doesn't really know her and she's never really done anything bad to her. So she's just the good mother and she's like, you know, really held up to a high esteem versus Abby, who she has, and now they have, you know, this falling out and they don't really seem to be getting along. So you can really like compartmentalize that negative feelings toward the negative mother and not feel guilt for feeling these emotions. And then it also helps to preserve the image of her mother and then channel the anxieties right into Abby, her stepmother. We also see Bridget as an accomplice for the role of the hidden or secret accomplice to the murders. And there's also, were they secret lovers?
Well, that is a theory. I've heard you talk about that before.
Right. Where they, again, are sexualizing her
Yeah.
and Bridget. So then we also have different theories about the murders. We could discuss those, see if you guys ever heard any of them or what your thoughts are on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So we have one of the theories. I kind of like this, and I didn't know about this one until I started doing this research, is the illegitimate son theory. Author Arnold Brown, he proposed that Andrew Borden had an illegitimate son, and he murdered Andrew after being denied financial support. Some historians believe this theory is plausible, given the possibility of illegitimate children in that era. If you go onto the Lizzie Andrew Borden Virtual Museum and Library, their website, they actually discuss this theory a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? So he has an illegitimate son, right?
Yeah.
That some might think he's owed something, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, he's not even giving money to the children that he claims.
Yeah.
Why is he going to give it to someone he doesn't?
He wouldn't know his dad at that point anyway, you know what I mean?
Right.
He would have been living separate. So, but yeah, I mean,
The hidden
there
child.
could be something there.
Yeah. And then I think, like, thinking about that, does that play into the wild man theory?
Where the illegitimate son is the wild man?
Right. Is he the wild man? Is he the one they see lurking outside the house? Is he the one they're suspicious of? Because he's been watching them and waiting. Or he's already confronted Andrew outside of the home. And they don't know it.
Yeah.
And now he sneaks into the home on the day of the murders and he kills Abby and Andrew.
I don't know. Something's just not right there. There were too many people home at the time to not see anything.
Yeah.
Or hear it. I mean, you had to hear Abby hit the floor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the father was killed on the...
He was napping.
He was napping
Yeah.
on
On the couch.
On the couch.
But I mean, even that had to make a noise.
I mean, you get hit with a hatchet.
You just hear like a thud.
Game over. That's it. You know what I mean?
Another theory is the dissociative fugue state. Some believe that Lizzie may have been experiencing this, a dissociative fugue, mental state where someone acts out of character under duress. This plays back into the repressed woman archetype that we discussed. She's separating herself from like her shadow side or her negative side. She's kind of just letting that shadow or negative side like take over. And it attempts to explain her erratic behavior and the contradictory statements that she's making to the police because she might not have any memory of parts of the day if she, you know, did have one of these episodes.
If she disassociates.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Personality disorder.
Yeah.
Right? Multiple personality disorder.
Dissociative identity disorder. Yeah. There's also a theory, the outside intruder theory. They suggest that an outside intruder was responsible, maybe with Lizzie's cooperation or as a result of her negligence. The theory faces challenges because of the difficulty that an intruder would have entering the home, committing the murders, and then leaving without being seen by anyone.
I mean, that's still kind of similar to the wild man, right? I mean, they'd both be like some kind of third party,
Yeah,
you know, that's looking to cause harm or...
right. It might also be interesting to look at, okay, so Abby and Andrew are killed on this date, on this year. Is there anyone else nearby who's murdered around that time?
Oh, you're going like full serial killer out there?
Right. Like, is there maybe someone else out there who maybe, you know, maybe you could look at the wild man or outside intruder theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wouldn't that already like shown in some kind of evidence?
Right. Like, you would think somebody would have already explored that.
Yeah.
That would just make sense.
You're not going to know unless you go looking.
Yeah, true. But
Yeah.
I think it would have been already, brought up at some
Yeah,
point.
you would think.
Yeah.
And then the last theory is the possession theory.
Which we know the people that own the house now probably freaking love that one, right?
Yeah. So it's believed that Lizzie was possessed at the time of the murders, and that's what caused her to commit them. Lizzie and Emma, their great aunt Eliza Darling Borden, she had 3 children with Lodvik Borden. And in 1848, she kills 2 of her 3 children, tosses them down the property's cistern. It still is actually in the basement in the home today. And then there's reports that she went upstairs and she slit her throat with her husband's razor. Other people report that she committed suicide behind the chimney after being overcome by grief. It is said that a dark entity had caused Eliza to kill her children, and then later that same dark entity causes Lizzie to kill her father and her stepmother. Eliza is a neighbor of the Bordens. They live, I think, right next door to each other.
Okay.
So it's the belief that the kind of like the entity just was like, I don't know, maybe going down the street.
Following the family.
Yeah. But like, did it follow the family? Is it attached to the family in some way? So Lizzie's family's mental health history is actually brought up at the time of the trial, and they labeled it as inherited madness. And I mean, I don't know. The evidence for that is just, I just think it's stupid.
So they're
Like,
just saying
throw it
that
out.
the family had mental issues before, that she probably inherited those.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Like Eliza probably had postpartum. At the time, they didn't really explore that. And, you know, who knows what her home life was like with her husband, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's probably more like her mental state and her mental health is probably more likely to have led her down that path than...
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not like she could have just called up the local therapist and...
Oh, it didn't exist?
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to discuss?
Jeff wants to discuss another pour of...
Another pour of whiskey?
Pour of bourbon, yeah. I don't know.
I always thought it was just her. Like, I really didn't know that there wasn't that many parties that maybe involved, or it could have been.
Well, sure. I mean, that's how you were trained to think it was her, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, pretty much.
She got off.
Yeah, she did.
So if it was her, she got away with it.
Yeah.
You know, and her sister seemed to, kind of support her after the whole thing. Well, through the courts and everything, right?
Yeah. She paid for her defense.
You got to wonder if the father was maybe abusive, or
He could have been.
the
That's
stepmother.
the theory.
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
I think.
That the father was like sexually abusing Lizzie.
Is that a theory?
Yeah.
Is that out there? Yeah.
And that maybe like Abby knew about it.
And then finally she just snapped.
Yeah. And she just snaps and
And
yeah.
then the stepmom knows about it and she's not doing anything about it either.
Right.
Well, that's a good point, Jeff, because maybe that's why she turned on her stepmother.
Right. Or she's like, if I'm going to kill him for this, then I'm going to have to also kill Abby because she's going to get his money.
Yeah.
That's true.
Back to the money again.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're just awful people.
It's just a lot going on. And it's like you almost have to go back in time and just kind of like stand there and watch it happen to know who did it at this point, which isn't an option.
I don't know if I could do that.
Well, you definitely can't do that,
No,
Jeff.
I'm just saying, but I don't know if you could, if you do that, if you go back, I don't know, but I think my brain would hurt and just seeing all this going on.
Like what happened? Like, could you just imagine? Like it would just, I don't know. It would just blow my mind to just have an actual answer of what happened that day.
Yeah. It turns out they were all sick because they were all eating those pears that were
Yeah.
Contaminated in the yard.
poisonous pears.
It might crush your dreams, Gab.
It might.
But it would be so interesting to know.
Yeah.
To just know, like, definitively, this is what happened and this is who did it.
Well, that's
Like,
why
to just have the answer.
you're going to have 10 more TV shows about it.
I know.
Everybody can put their own spin on it.
I do have to ask both of you, though.
Uh-oh.
How did it feel to be there when you went there to visit?
Oh, I didn't plan on talking about this.
Yeah. I've been there 3 times. You've been there twice now?
I went for I guess would be a history tour of the house the first time, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the second time we actually went and stayed overnight.
Yeah, we stayed
with an
overnight.
investigation.
We did a paranormal investigation.
I have to make a visit there. I've never been there yet.
Wasn't one of the best paranormal investigations.
No, it wasn't. I like the house. The house is really nice.
You like
I
old
really
houses,
like it.
though.
I do, yeah. It's a nice house.
And we stayed in the maid's room, right?
Yeah, we stayed in the maid's room because my first time that I took a tour there, that was the only room that I don't know, I just like felt like maybe something's here in that room.
Yeah, how much of that is just, your expectation versus reality, though?
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't feel anything anywhere else in the house.
No.
Just in that
Just that
room.
room.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe there is something here. So I was like, well, that's the room we're going to stay in.
Yeah, and we had the picture of the maid.
Yeah, and I made you turn that cat statue around because I didn't want to like wake up and have that cat staring at me. And I fell asleep that
right
night
in your face.
with headphones on watching Netflix because I was worried that the maid was going to try to talk to us. I didn't want to hear her.
You were worried that you were going to wake up, and I remember you saying...
Yeah, and I was worried I'd wake up and she'd be standing there,
Yeah.
wanting to talk to me.
I fell asleep right away.
He did.
No problem.
He really did. Like,
Huh.
I probably watched 2 episodes of the show I had on
Yeah.
before I was able to fall asleep.
He was just waiting for you to fall asleep so he could get in his dress.
Mind your what? Fuck.
And we investigated until midnight. So just think about that. Like, we were investigating until midnight, and then we get to the room, and then he falls asleep, but then I'm up, like, watching TV, like, trying to, like, tire myself out so I can just fall asleep. So it was probably like 2 a.m. at that point.
She wouldn't fall asleep, so I couldn't try on the dress. I wouldn't fit in it anyway.
And I made him sleep with the light on.
Yeah, he did. No, I fell asleep. I'm not saying I slept well because I cannot sleep with lights on. I can't sleep with the TV on, right?
Yeah.
We sleep with the TV on every night, but I hate it. I can't
I can
stand
just
it.
imagine. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I need darkness.
So then we check in, and we learned that you could actually rent like a projector screen to watch TV on and like stream TV. And I was like, why didn't we know this?
Yes, they have.
Could have watched that.
They have all the amenities.
Yeah.
Did you sleep at all that night?
I did. Yeah. I finally fell asleep, and I realized I had slept through like 4 episodes of the Netflix show I was watching before it like stopped playing.
Oh my God. I had no problems falling asleep. That drive in from Boston, when we had to drive through the city, underneath the city, and we got stuck in that horrible traffic for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I had no problem sleeping that night.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That was horrible. So as a social worker, I think that you can view the murders through the lens of family dynamics, the social class at the time, different gender roles. We have to examine how the societal norms and the expectations for women in the late 18th century influenced public perspective, as well as the legal proceedings. Lizzie, she's a wealthy white woman. She's in a prominent family. Is far from that archetype of someone who is like an axe-wielding maniac, or even like a wild woman, if you want. The expectation is that she's going to embody all of these social norms of feminism and domesticity. Her potential for violence, let alone violence against her parents, is shocking at the time. Her gender was more of a shield to her, but it was also a liability. So she was made out to be manipulative and emotionally unstable. She had limited opportunities as an unmarried woman in the 1800s. It was alleged that this may have contributed to her psychological state, her strained relationship with her father and her stepmother. They had significant tensions surrounding Andrew's wealth, the property distribution. The public was fascinated with this case. A respectable woman committing this violent, vile act. But how could a woman be good and evil? Because women are only good? So the public, the courts, the police at the time, everybody wanted a male, but not just a male. They wanted a male with an accent for this crime. So they didn't want to pin it on a woman, let alone a woman of Lizzie's status. So, you know, you're looking at like the femme fatales. They poison people, right? They don't commit brutal crimes like this. So how could she have been so physical in her crimes, right? Because she's just a woman. So my favorite is that there's even some talk that her menstrual cycle induced a fit of rage.
Wow.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe she was like, I bled on my blue dress, and then she got so mad that she killed Abby and her
Look
dad.
at you connecting those dots, huh?
So,
She bled all over the front of it, all over the back of it, all over the bottom of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we don't know because that's all hearsay, but
That was one crazy month.
And you know, that's like just like the men putting their heads together, and they're like, maybe she's on her period. What do you think, guys? And
makes
they're
sense.
Like,
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm. Makes sense.
True.
Nothing else makes sense. Nothing else.
Let's go with this.
So only insane men would be capable of committing these crimes. So then it also has to take an insane woman to commit this crime. So ultimately, a jury of 12 middle-aged men just are not able to accept that a woman, let alone a woman of Lizzie's station in life, can commit patricide. So what would that say about their daughters, their wives, their sisters. If they can admit that this is something Lizzie can do,
And any of them
then it's something they can do. 1 week a month. So, so then it's unsurprising, though, that, people are just as likely typecasted by the media, by the public, just like they were in Lizzie's time, right? Like you're still seeing that same type of like archetypes playing out with gender, with social class, all these things. So yeah, we had talked about our visits to the home. Mm-hmm. We've gone a few times. And one of the things that we thought was interesting is when you go for the paranormal investigation, they used to allow people to use Ouija boards
Jeff.
and seances in the house. So they would just let you come in. You could just all willy-nilly, you could just use the Ouija board, conduct a seance, and leave, right? And they would just let people do this.
Yeah.
So then when you come in there, they'll tell you, like, now you're not allowed to do these things. I don't think you're allowed to use tarot cards either.
Yeah, I feel like they play it up a little bit, though. You know what I mean? Because what is everybody afraid of?
Like
they're afraid of the Ouija
spirits.
boards,
Yeah.
right? People have been trained; they've been taught to believe that these things open up doorways to evil entities, right? So that, and of course the tarot cards. Okay, that's a little darker too, right?
Right.
Hey, maybe we're not going to use tarot cards here because we don't want any.
Or a seance.
Right.
Right. Because the only things you're going to get from those things are going to be bad.
Right.
Yeah.
You're inviting something you don't know what it is, and
Right. And it's evil.
it could be evil.
Right. Because that's what everybody's conditioned to think is that, anytime
true.
you're getting a spirit, it's got to be evil.
But the strange thing is, while they're telling you that they don't want you using these methods here, they're also telling you some other things.
Like they're telling you about the portal they have in the basement that's been opened by these seances and Ouija board sessions and how they have these like shadow figures and like bad spirits in the house. Mm-hmm. They do have a cat spirit though.
Yeah, they captured the cat on thermal.
It's a little cat.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's cute. So they're telling you like all these things are there in the basement. They're bad. They're evil. And then 16-year-old kids are like going into the basement and investigating.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, be careful. There's evil entities here. And then, children, just go in there.
Go down there, have some fun.
Right. Go have some fun.
Enjoy.
Right. So it's not like, I don't know, like be more responsible if you're going to say things like that.
It's a business. You got to hype it up. You got to put on a show for people, I think.
I guess.
Doing what they're doing, yeah. So
Ghost Adventures, when they went and they investigated, they called it one of the darkest haunts in all of New England.
would you agree with that?
No, I literally don't even think there's anything there. To be honest, like I literally didn't even feel like there was anything in that house at any point.
It's creepy. It's a creepy old house.
I think it's a really nice house.
It's a creepy old house, though.
It's a creepy old house
It's a creepy
because
old
of the
house.
history.
Right. That is, again.
You're right.
Yeah. That is played up to
played
be
up.
negative.
They got us, Jeff.
They got you.
They won.
But again, what do we know about that? The more that you discuss these sort of things.
Right. They're just like feeding it. So are they creating it in a way?
Yeah.
Like are they creating negative things there because that's what they're feeding?
Yep.
Could be.
When Ghost Adventures goes out, they really play up the possession aspect from the start. You have to watch the episode if you haven't. I don't know. Have you seen it?
I don't.
You haven't. I don't think you
I
watched
have
it.
not.
I don't want to watch it.
No. The beginning is really good. I think this takes place
That's
in the
your boy.
first 15 minutes. This happens. They accuse the person giving them the tour of acting weird.
Okay.
To the point it's the most bizarre thing you will see.
Does this person become possessed slowly throughout the episode?
That's the way they make it seem.
Right.
Like she's being possessed and like they're like, I don't want to go into too much detail, and they like have to like step in and like stop her.
Yeah. Well, even the people that run the house say they don't believe Lizzie's there.
Yeah, they say they don't think Lizzie's there.
Yeah. Why would she?
Well, they have a team themselves. The owners have a team that investigate the house often.
Yeah.
They've never gotten any evidence of
I
Lizzie.
can't see her being there. I mean, like, it'd be like, oh, it's a punishment. You get to be sent to this house now and live there, your spirit. for the rest of
Especially
your
if she
life.
didn't do it. Like,
Right.
Why would she? Could you imagine being stuck there if you didn't do it?
Yeah.
This is my thought. If she did do it, why isn't there someone saying that there? Like she did it. She did it. Like why isn't someone saying it there?
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
getting evidence,
Yes.
EVPs or something.
Or if she didn't do it, why isn't she there saying she didn't do it?
I mean, that could be a good way to approach it.
Right.
If we go to investigate that house again.
Right.
Yeah.
And what does the cat know?
What does the cat know? The cat saw it all.
The cat is one of like the previous owner's cats
Is
who
it?
passed. It passed pretty recently
Oh,
in like the
okay.
2000s. But I mean, the cat is on the other side, so it might know something.
Oh, time works differently over there.
Yeah.
You can see everything.
The cat knows all now.
Cat has a DeLorean.
has a DeLorean.
A ghost DeLorean. You would like
kitty. Yeah. Aw. I think it would be interesting to go to Maplecroft, where she passed away, where Lizzie passed
you keep
away,
mentioning that.
and see, like, is she there?
Is that open for
Is the
investigations,
spirit
or is
there?
that just
I was looking into it the other night, and I think it used to be a bed and breakfast. I don't think it is now. I think they give tours, but I think that might be the extent of it.
That'd be cool.
no investigations then?
I don't know. Maybe you could go in privately,
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, look into that.
unless it's it might be a private residence.
5.5 hours away, Jeff.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but you're in Massachusetts then.
Yeah.
You're in New England.
Yeah, you'll make a trip out of it, right? Yeah, I see what you're doing. Trying
Anything is a reason to
yeah,
go
to
New
Salem.
England. Any reason, we take it. Like when we went, because there was a Friends pop-up in Boston for
yeah.
New Year's Day. And we were like, let's go spend New Year's Eve in Boston.
That was a cool trip, though.
That was cool.
Yeah. That's when you brought COVID to the
Yeah.
to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a story for another time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's another episode. Anybody have any other thoughts they want to share?
I don't know. I just say she did it.
No, I want to actually research more now on
Yeah.
this.
It's interesting. There's so many things at play, and it's just really interesting when you like really start to get into it and like learn all the key players and everybody's part and everything.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting. And I think that's why it sticks with people, because there's so many things at play. So many things are happening. So many different people. Like maybe you're seeing yourself in like one of the people, you know, whether it's Abby or Andrew or Lizzie or.
I feel there were actually, it just wasn't her. I didn't feel like maybe, like you said, more people were involved in this.
Yeah.
They were planning this, and then she's the one that did it, that took it all the way.
Right. Or was it like, were they all planning it and Emma left because she was like, I can't be there when this happens. And they were like, go, Emma. We'll notify you when it's done. It's interesting. Like over 160 years and people are still just talking about it. One thing, if we go back, I want to go to where she's buried. I want to go see the courtroom.
Any excuse to get to a cemetery.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Especially an old cemetery in Massachusetts. Where can people find us, Jody?
Oh, I'm on the spot. You could go to www.podcastoftheparanormal, all one word.com. You'll have links to our social media, our email address,
Podcast episodes.
wherever you get podcasts.
That's all we got.
Thanks for listening.